welcome to our 90th meeting of the club. Still quite a young club, as you can see. Some clubs you go to, they start talking about thousands and something. Just to start, I would ask us to introduce ourselves, Rick, please, and just tell us who you are and maybe just quickly why you're here or what you're doing today. If I can start this side with Mandy, my man.
Good morning everyone, I'm Mandy. I will be your Toastmaster this morning. I've been a member of this club since last year's September.
My name is Monica. I'll be doing the icebreaker today.
Good morning everyone, I'm Zoe. I am your tabletop master today and I'm a member of this club.
Good morning everyone, my name is Tommy and I am the club secretary. Yeah, and I think I'm not doing much today. So.
We'll see about that.
Good morning everyone, I'm Nicola. It's the first time at the club today and I'm just here to see a little bit more about Toastmasters.
Welcome to that.
Good morning everyone, my name is Miss Wahani. Today I will be playing a role of an counter.
My name is Emmanuel Feli. I am a long-standing visitor of this club. My home club is Livonia Toastmasters, and I'm delivering a speech today.
Good morning everybody, I'm Jerome, and my role will be as sergeant today among some other roles. And I've been a member of this club since February this year.
Hi everyone, I'm Matthew. This is also my first meeting, and I just want to come here and see this all out.
Welcome, Matthew.
Good morning everyone, my name is Tanya Longmine. I am a member of this club and I'm also going to be looking after Matthew today. And the role I'm playing today is the Grammarian. Thank you.
Good morning all, I'm Rick Robenheimer. I'm a member at UWP Toastmasters, but I do seem to come here quite often. I wasn't actually coming today because Judith and I were going off to Nexa, but then Judith went and changed her mind. You know how women are. The fact that she broke her leg on Thursday might have had something to do with it. And so, being at a loose end, I thought I would come.
Thanks very much, Rick. Please give our best to Judith.
Good morning, my name is Trini. I came here once with Centrum, and I promised my daughter that I'm going to bring her here today so that she can see what I saw the last time. I don't belong to any club, but I think I'm in love with Toastmasters, and I'll join one of the branches, one of the things.
I'm Jenna Khan, her divorce as she just mentioned. It's my real first time here. She came home, she's ecstatic and saying that, what a delightful experience she had, so I had to come see it for myself and possibly join one of your clubs as well. Thank you.
Good morning everybody, my name is Dino Lupini. Yes, I've got a husky voice. I had a good night last night. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to carry on that good time this morning. So, thank you.
I'll get you some beer. Good morning, my name is Jeroen Kelly and I'm a charter member of this club.
Hi, good morning everyone, my name is Quentin. I'm a Fourth Dimension Toastmasters, which is your sister club down the road, and very excited to be here today. I've been a member of Toastmasters now for about 5 months, so
No, it's already on. Okay.
Are you sure?
We just get
In case you think I've forgotten you.
And that's what I thought, and I'm like, okay, must have put my hand up down. Yeah, morning everyone, my name is Nancy, and I'm a member of this club. We've been a member for the past 2 years, and a couple of months. And I've missed a number of sessions in the last couple of weeks, and I'm happy to be back again, and looking forward to all the speeches. Thank you.
And my name is Harold Robinson. How many times have I visited the club? Oh, I'm a member here, I'm the president. For better or for worse. We do have a number of apologies today. Some of whose names are on the program. So that's a little disconcerting, but I think it's Tambu, I've got Prince, I've got Lynn, unfortunately he's also twisted her, how bad it is, but she couldn't drive, so her ankle is twisted. And who else do we have apologies from? Okay. Does Mayo actually send an apology?
No. Yes, we know.
She might still arrive. Right. Lynn is not here, but I'll ask Snanzi as lead to tell us the program changes. Snanzi, if you could let us know, please.
Okay, there are a couple of changes. Onika's speech will be evaluated by Rick, and Neo is not here as yet, so we'll decide who will evaluate his speech if she arrives, because Prince is not here. And yeah, I think those are the only changes.
Timekeeper.
Sorry?
Timekeeper.
Oh, okay. Timekeeper is Jerome. Yeah, okay. That's it. I don't know if there's anything else that I've missed out. Okay, I don't think so. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Nancy. Next on the program is business session, and I only have one item on the business session. We've been, I don't know if the word is approached or what the word is, by Danfern Diamonds, who are an advanced Toastmasters club, and they've suggested that we sponsor people to join the advanced club. Is anybody familiar with what an advanced club is about? Clinton or Emmanuel, are you perhaps a member of an advanced club?
I have an idea, but I'm not a member of an advanced club.
You have an idea?
Yeah.
An idea for us or an idea what it is?
What it is.
You want to explain to us? You
Oh,
might
yes, I
explain
can do
it
that.
better than me. Thank you.
All right, an advanced club, normally when we start in Toastmasters, we have what we call the fundamentals, the basics. Okay, so probably it's around 10 prepared speeches that we deliver, and we do prepare a number of assignments in terms of leadership. It can be timekeeping, it can be grammarian role, it can be any role in the meeting. So once we have achieved that stage of 10 speeches, 10 prepared speeches, then you can now start with your advanced curriculum. And now, those clubs that are being called advanced Toastmasters clubs are clubs that are specifically for those who are at advanced stage. It means that if you are like you and I, we just started, we are not allowed to go there. We can only become members of those clubs once we have achieved at least 10 speeches and we have done a certain number of assignments within club meetings. Then we can be allowed to go there. More advanced topics, more advanced speaking skills, basically. That is what we call the advanced Toastmasters. So basics are for normal clubs. Then advanced are for those clubs. All right, I think I've explained what.
Very good explanation. Thank you
Emmanuel, you see that it's only those that are in that advanced stage that are allowed to go, which means we can't go there at the level that we are now.
All right.
Not to do a speech, but
we can visit. We can visit and listen to them, but we cannot become members.
Okay.
But we can still visit and see what you know, and how, but we cannot become members of those clubs.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
If sorry.
Sorry, going from specifically the advanced club, I read up on the website you have to have a minimum of CC8 completed to become a member of their club. I don't know whether that applies for all the advanced clubs or specifically to them, but I know it's a minimum of CC8.
I think it must be them because I understood it was CC10 as well.
Yeah, there's no but CC8.
It's Golden Gavel, which is part of my area, is also an advanced club and they require CC10 or that you've completed level 2 on pathways.
Well, that's my next question. What level on pathways? So it's level 2.
Harold, my question?
Yes.
It's, do you have to have dual membership?
Yes,
Or do
that's
you
right.
only part one?
It is dual membership. As I understand, you would remain a member of Bryanston, but you'd be a member there as well. And the fees are adjusted for dual membership. You don't pay a full fee there. They don't pay a full fee to Toastmasters International because you've got a Bryanston. Does that make sense? A lot of money going around. The Dainfern Diamonds, I think, is $7.85 per year that they charge. $7.85 per year. They've asked the other clubs in the area if we can sponsor 3 members each, either partial or whatever. So that's what I'm putting to the club. Yes.
Do we have to be a member there, or can one just go and, listen to speech? Because, okay, I'm at the level, up down at level 10. I would like to go and do a speech, but I don't want to be a member there. So can I do it?
I don't know.
I believe yes, you could.
I can.
It's asked beforehand, obviously, because you need space on the program.
Yeah.
But so yes, if you've got to the requirement for membership, then you could go and give a speech without being a member by arrangement.
Okay.
Harold, a question. You mentioned per year, but we always talk about semi-annual dues. So are you sure that's per year, not per half year? The figure that you're given.
You caught me out there. I will find that out. Okay. You gave me the figure, but she didn't
because
say
it would be that would be a bargain if it's per year. Yeah. If it's per half year, that's around about normal Toastmasters membership that goes to TI.
That becomes expensive for normal Toastmasters. If it's all right with you, I think at this stage, I just want to put it to the members who qualify to be advanced members to consider it, and if you are interested, to let myself or anyone on the committee know, and then we can discuss whether we can do a partial or a sponsorship. How does that sound? Okay. The advantages, I think, are that those members then get exposed to more advanced environment and then come back and we can see their skills and they can disseminate to us. So you're happy for me to leave it at that? Okay. Thank you. That's all I have on the business session. Any other committee members? Anything else you want to raise? Club members want to raise anything in business? Going, gone. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have Andy doing the role of Toastmaster. And I'll be looking forward to this because I thought she should have done this one. But let me not say more. Please welcome Mandy to the front.
And the second thing, I want to check everybody's got a round tube. Yes?
No.
No. Thanks, Nancy will come and give everybody.
Who doesn't have?
Who doesn't have? Put your hand up.
Just careful.
Okay. Kumi, you got one? Yeah. Monica, you got one? Please go and open it, and Jerome, don't try and check what's in there. I see you going like this. Right, thank you, Snapper. Right, good morning, fellow Toastmasters, visitors, and guests. My name is Mandy, and I have the pleasure of being your Toastmaster for the morning. The theme of the meeting is I Am. I would like you to listen to this clip from a movie called Anger Management.
Tell us about yourself. Who are you? Well, I'm an executive assistant at a major pet products company. Dave, I don't want you to tell us what you do. I want you to tell us who you are. Oh, all right. I'm a pretty good guy. I like playing tennis on occasion. Also, not your hobbies, Dave. Just simple. Tell us who you are. Maybe you could give me an example of what a good answer would be. What do you say? You want Lou to tell you who you are? No, I'm a nice, easygoing man. I might be a little bit indecisive at times. Dave, you're describing your personality. I want to know who you are. I don't know what the hell you want me to say. I'm sorry. I want to answer your question. It's not doing it right, I guess. I think we're getting a picture. Dave.
Wow, what a hard question to answer. The truth is, you are not one person, but many people in one. You are Zoe, Jerome, Harold, Rick, Adrian. You are daughters, sons, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, grandchildren, some grandparents, as well as employees, business owners, retirees, artists, singers, salespeople, engineers, teachers, coaches, and more. In fact, the most accurate way to think of ourselves is that we exist as a broad set of potentialities, rather than as a narrow set of traits. In addition to all the things I've said above, you are made up of traits, weaknesses, strengths, likes, dislikes, personalities, hobbies, and physical forms. The particular who we manifest at any point in time depends on the circumstances in which we find ourselves. We are multifaceted with numerous layers. The who at this point in time is we are, fellow Toastmasters, visitors, guests, role players, and speakers. Today I want to focus on the words that come after I am. The inner dialogue you have with yourself. Everyone is guilty of using negative words after I am. We are harsh critics of ourselves. We chew and swallow negative words we receive from others instead of spitting them out. We go on diets and we fail. We say to ourselves, I am a failure, I am a loser, I am fat, I am ugly, I am pathetic. We fight with our partners. We say to ourselves, I am always wrong, I am horrible, I am ugly, I am a loser, I am not good enough. I would like you all to pick up the pieces of paper that you have, the rolls. Don't open them, Jerome. And I want you to close your eyes and imagine you taking all these inhibitions, insecurities, negative words and beliefs about yourself, and I want you to place them inside this rolled up piece of paper. So please all close your eyes. And imagine you pulling these things out of your mind and placing them in this tube. When you're done, I want you to imagine sealing the two ends of the tube with caps. And you can then place them back on the table. Thank you for participating and entertaining me. Every time you use the words I am, you are literally instructing yourself to think, believe, and feel a certain way. You are telling your subconscious mind what to filter out and disallow, and what to let into your awareness. You are commanding the world to form an outer reality which matches the declaration of what you have just said. There's an exercise called the A to Z I am that I'd like to do throughout the course of the day. I will give you the letter of the alphabet and you will complete the sentence I am. The rule is the word has to be empowering, uplifting, and positive. Dino's looking worried, so I shall give an example. I am, and the letter I give myself is A. I am amazing. The second person I'd like to pick is Nancy. Nancy, please stand up. Your letter is B, and use a positive, uplifting word to describe yourself. Your letter is B.
Okay. Besides beautiful, I'll say I'm brilliant.
Adrian, please stand up. Your letter is C. I am.
I'm clever, yes, thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. Right, I would like to introduce our various role players. Our timekeeper today is Jerome. Thank you for stepping in, Jerome. Do you mind standing up and then explaining your role? But before you do that, your letter is D. I am.
I want the day though. I'm available.
Very positive and uplifting.
What is it, D?
D.
I am...
D available?
I am dynamic.
Dynamic. Thank you, Jerome. Please explain your role as timekeeper.
Oh, sorry. I thought I'd read that. Okay, so this little device will inform each of the speakers how far they are in their speech. So for the listed speakers today, they have a time of 4 to 6 minutes for Annika, and the others have a time of 5 to 7 minutes. So for instance, with Annika, I will signal to her that she's at 4 minutes, and then I'll signal to her that she's at 5 minutes, and then I'll signal to her that she's at 6 minutes. And then at that time, she has 30 seconds, which is finish off her speech. Basically that's it. And then later on, I'll give a timekeeper's report of how long each of the speakers spoke, and whether each of them stepped over their time of 400.
Thank you, Jerome. Our counter this morning is, I can't do this click, so I'm going to have to say Kuliswa. And before you start, your letter is E. Please say I am.
I am ecstatic.
Well done. That was my line. Kuliswa, can you explain your role to us?
My role as an art counter is to listen to all of the speakers and make note of words and sound used as pause fillers, used too often or repeated consecutively by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words such as are, and, well, so, and so on. The intent is not so much to catch speakers using filler words, but more to make them aware of catchy words that they may be using out of habit, and that may take away the impact of their public speaking.
during today's grammarian, my responsibility is to take note of creative and wonderful use of the English language, and also some poor use of the English language, but most importantly, it's to introduce a word of the day. Mandy and I did not talk before this session and did not prep at all. But the word that I chose was ecstatic, and it is feeling or expressing overwhelming happiness or joyful excitement. And I seriously did prepare. I am ecstatic to be here today. Thank you.
The next role player, I'd like to call on Zoe, who is our table topics master. Zoe, your letter is G.
I'm great.
Yes.
And I'm also table topics master today. So table topics is our unprepared speaking session, where you get a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes to speak on a topic that you will be made known 2 minutes before your speech today. So come in volunteer, be ecstatic to participate. Thank you.
Last role player for this morning is Harold, who's our evaluation chair. Harold, would you like to explain your role? And your letter is H for Harold.
Well, there you go. Harold.
I
am Happy Harold. I am facilitating the evaluation session today, and we will resort to traditional evaluation today for a change, with a meeting of the evaluators at the break, but we will be back for table topics now. So please don't start without us, and chase us if necessary if we take too long. So that is my role.
Thank you. I'd just like to say thank you to Snazzy for managing registration this morning, and thank you to Adrian for being our meeting sergeant at arms this morning. Right, we're going to move on to the prepared speaking sessions. We have 4 speakers today who will be participating in this session. Speakers, can I ask you to please close your eyes, and can we have a moment of 30-second silence? And speakers, what I want you to do is I want you to start using those positive words inside yourself, starting with I am. I am an amazing speaker. I am going to be brilliant today. Please insert whatever you need. Right, has everybody had enough time to prepare? Thank you. Right, our first speaker of the day is Annika. Annika is doing her first speech icebreaker out of the Pathways manual, and her evaluator will be Rick. Rick, can you please explain the assignment to us? And before you do, you need to entertain my letter, which is going to be I am.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I am imaginative. Pathways has purpose statements. The icebreaker is the first speech of a path in Pathways. And the purpose statement of the icebreaker is, the purpose of this project is for a member to introduce herself, the club, and learn the basic structure of a public speech. That interprets. The timing is 4 to 6 minutes.
Thank you, Rick. Please help me welcome Annika with her speech, High School with Mom. High School with Mom, Annika.
Oh, all right.
Oh, not for you yet.
Thank you.
James Joyce says the art of communication is the leadership language. I I realized that I'm a great speaker when I'm alone in the shower and in the car. And it feels good. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and guests. I was born and raised in Mninginesi village in Limpopo province in South Africa. I am Tsonga. I was raised by my grandmother. I got to know my mom better when we were both learners in high school. My mother had me when she was young. She dropped out and returned to high school during my high school period. After school, I would go to fetch drinking water from the communal tap and bath water from the dam. I used to go climbing trees. I used to milk cows and goats. My favorite was collecting cow's dung with friends. While waiting for a cow to push, we'd be watching, and whoever saw the cow push first would scream, "That's my dung!" My grandmother used to be proud of me when I brought home fresh dung, because as you decorate homes, it will be smooth when you put flowers. In 1996, while in class, my cousin Irene told me that the Kozas, it's a family in the village, bought a television, and it was amazing. I got home that day. I asked my grandmother if I could go watch television that night, and she agreed. I liked what I saw. From that day, I told myself that I was not going to wait for my family to bring a photograph of a man whom I should marry. I was going to pass grade 12, go to Cape Town and live the life that I saw on the television. Being in high school with my mom, it assisted because I could not get a boyfriend, therefore no chance of falling pregnant. While in class, if I did something out of line, my teacher would tell me, "Absolutely," that was my name in school, "I'll tell your mother." And they did tell her. And sometimes I would wonder if she had people spying on me, because she saw and know most of my moves. Most of my lunch in school was pap and locust and pap and sugar, or pap and milk, or pumpkin or cucumber. I got tired of my lunch. One day I agreed with my friend Victoria that we exchange lunch. During break time, I opened Victoria's lunch. I smelled beef and rice. Before I eat, I had, "Don't eat that! Give it back!" It was my mother in her uniform. I fantasized about that meal all morning. I must say that day, a tear rolled down my left cheek. It was unfair. I had meat and rice during Christmas days and sometimes when I visited family members. We had no dreams then. Besides, a girl child was not encouraged to pass or to pass well in school. We were going to school because most teenagers were going to school and to run away from farming. So you had a choice. In 2000, I passed matric. I needed an ID. My mother was supposed to give my details, including the birth date. She only knew that I was born a month before cousin Eunice. I'm still not sure if my birthday is right. And that's generational, even hers. Because when we count, the year that she gave birth to me, it means she was 13 years. And even when we count her mother's birthday. In 2001, I came to Johannesburg. In 2002, I was blessed with a job in the public sector. In 2006, I started studying part-time. In 2016, I graduated with a master's degree. I'm a dynamic, industrious, and an energetic public servant. I'm upset and dissatisfied with the standards of our service delivery. I wish I could transform government employees' attitude. I wish to interrupt government employees' averageness. I wish to inspire government employees to deliver 5-star excellent customer satisfaction. We are living in the fast-paced world of technology and brilliant minds. I believe that if public servants can cultivate a caliber, the mindset, the skill set, and the traits of entrepreneurs, we can have a better country. I joined Toastmasters to improve on my communication skills, to inspire and encourage public servant, and to improve on my leadership skills to take a lead on my vision. Thank you.
Clinton is speaking out of Pathways. He's doing his first speech of level 2.
Correct.
And he's evaluating his speech is Dino. Dino, please can you explain the assignment for Clinton's speech? But before that, your letter is J. I am.
So I'll just go with joyous. I am joyous.
Okay, thank you, Dino.
It can be better than that for me, this process. Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to be Clinton's evaluator. I don't know what level he is on Pathways. Level 2 of which person? So the purpose of his speech today is to identify his primary leadership styles, or primary leadership styles in general, and just provide a speech to share specific aspects of leadership styles or discuss leadership styles in general.
Please help me welcome our second speaker of the morning, Clinton, with his speech titled Leadership, Good to Great. Leadership, Good to Great, Clinton.
Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Martin Luther King Jr., Oprah Winfrey, Nelson Mandela, Margaret Thatcher. What is it that these individuals have in common? These are some of the individuals that have had the most impact on this world in the last 100 years. It's always amazed me how one individual can impact thousands, millions, and in some cases billions of individuals worldwide. I believe that's through their amazing and incredible leadership abilities. And a Toastmaster, but a Toastmasters. Today I'm going to talk about the 4 traits, 4 abilities that all of these individual leaders have, that I believe is what makes them great. The first one is that every leader has a vision of how something should be it a product or a service, a lifestyle, or a country and its people. And that leader, if they don't see that vision manifested around them, then they go ahead and they create it for themselves. And I'm not talking about small picture thinking. Richard Branson started an airline. Steve Jobs gave us the iPod. Nelson Mandela spearheaded the change of apartheid in this country. And it reminds me of a famous quote from Les Brown, which says, the reason why so many of us fail in life is not because we feel too big, but because we aim too small and we hit. The second trait every great leader has is that they have a strong purpose. And no one characterizes that more strongly for me than Steve Jobs. Think different. It's the change of status quo. Everything that Steve Jobs did was all about changing the status quo. And that's why today we have these amazing products that he has, that he's been part of actually creating. Steve Jobs understood the importance of developing a strong purpose-led organization. Simon Sinek has a quote that always reminds me of Steve Jobs. If you hire people to do a job, they'll work for you, Ronnie. But if you hire people who believe what you believe, they'll work for you with blood, sweat, and tears. What makes leaders great is not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. The third trait every great leader has is amazing, world-class communication skills. I have a dream. Yes, we can. These leaders need to set the direction for the organization and then constantly ensure that individuals are kept to this path. Leaders understand the importance of constant, clear, and open communication because they realize the difference that exists between their intent and the perception of their communication. It's no wonder that when many of us think of these great leaders, we can always picture them on a stage addressing an audience. The fourth trait that all of these great leaders have is grit. Grit can be defined as a positive, non-cognitive trait based on an individual's perseverance of effort, combined with their passion for a long-term goal or end state. Now, obviously, all of these leaders have amazing stories of grit, the perseverance of effort that's been able to propel them through into the success that they have. But there's no leader that characterizes grit more strongly for me than Jack Ma. Now, Jack Ma, if you don't know who he is the founder of the website Alibaba. Alibaba is the Chinese equivalent of Amazon.com. Alibaba also happens to be the biggest website in the world. Now, Jack Ma, in his career, he was rejected 30 times before he started Alibaba. He applied to Harvard 10 times and was rejected every single one of those times. He even applied to KFC and he was rejected. Today, Alibaba is worth, or rather, Jack Ma is worth $36.9 billion US. Jack Ma is someone who's used to failing and failing and failing again, and that's what makes him successful. Today in this world, there are leaders and there are followers. Have you decided which one of those you are?
Well done, Clinton. And thank you for presenting your speech at our club. It's always nice to have outside people come and do speeches here. And I definitely think we're looking at a possible leader because you certainly have the ability to empower others. So well done. Thank you. Our next speaker is Emmanuel, and evaluating his speech is Harold. Harold, can you please explain the assignment for Emmanuel's speech? Your letter is L, I am. L is your letter, I am.
I am large. Ladies and gentlemen, Emmanuel is speaking from the called Speaking to Inform, which is an advanced manual, and he's doing the second project called Resources for Informing. The main thrust of the project is around knowing your audience, and he needs to appeal to us, and it's quite a task because you've got to take into consideration our age range, which is quite big in the place, occupational status, economic status, educational background, political orientation, and leisure activities. He's going to inform us on a particular topic, and he has to appeal to all of us in his speech. That's quite a tough assignment.
Good luck, Emmanuel.
Thank you, Harold. Lovely indeed. Please help me welcome Emmanuel with his speech. Start preparing now. Start preparing now. Emmanuel.
Madam Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of weeks ago, I was video WhatsApping my sister in Cameroon, where I come from. And we were talking about our own mother. But she was there. So we were laughing at her and saying, hey, look, you don't have any money now. What happened is that my mother used to work as a bookkeeping clerk in an agricultural bank in Cameroon for her entire life. At some point, she was forced to take an early retirement. She was around 45 or so. And since after that, since then, she has been struggling to pay her bills. So we were talking to, I was talking to my sister, and we were telling our mother that, hey, now you can't pay your bills, huh? You remember when you used to cook for us, you have one, your menu. You have two choices. You take it or you leave it. So if you didn't like what you cook, you can always say you don't take it. There was no option. Now when I'm sending you money, you have no option. You take it or you leave it. But okay, it was done in a very loving and joking way. It wasn't bad. She understood that she laughed. And she said to us, you think that I can't pay my bill? You are my investment. So I'm paying my bills through you. But the point is, she asked us at the end, I said, okay, I hope you guys, the way you're laughing at me, I hope you guys are doing better. You're going to have a better life when you retire. I hope you have a couple of millions in your bank account now that you're going to use when you get to my age. Now, that was a trigger. Because after that, I asked my sister, my younger sister, hey, did you hear what Mom said? Do you have some money now putting on the side for you to use? And she asked me, no, I should be asking you, you are older than me. I should be asking you, how far are you with your preparation? But the point was, for me, it was trigger now. Reflected. Do I have any preparation plan? Now, looking, here we have quite looking at the, okay, I'm not an expert in physical chronology, but I see a lot of us here are still working professionals, we're still busy with income generating activities, which is good. Now, what happens in 30 years' time if we are no longer able to generate income through our activities? Now, I went to Google and I was searching and I found a research made by a consulting company here, based here, Alan Gray, doing a lot of financial studies. And they said in South Africa, only 6% of the entire working population is able to maintain their lifestyle after they have retired. Okay, now, this 6% is, it doesn't appear a lot, but it means basically that out of 100 people, only 6 people out of 100 are able to maintain their lifestyle once they have retired. What about the rest? If you are like me, it means that you are going to downgrade your lifestyle, which is not what we want. We want to be able to maintain the way we live. Okay, I see a couple of few people here maybe have retired already, and maybe I will engage with them maybe in the near future. They will give us a topic on how they manage how they're managing and how it's working, etc., etc. But for us, it is important that we look at that. Now, for those who are working for themselves, yeah, the business is going well, okay, are you putting something aside or whatever? But because the majority of people are working employees, apart from what the company and you have being asked to save for retirement pension contributions. What the company gives, probably 15-20% or less than that. If you are lucky, you are at 20%. If you are not lucky, you can be at 10%. And what you do, what your own contribution is, do you have anything else that you do to prepare for early retirement or retirement? Now, we are in a situation whereby life is getting expensive every single day. It means that your contribution to medical aid right now, in 10 years' time, is going to probably double or something like that. What are we doing? But for me, I was shocked myself because I realized that I did not have any plan. From that conversation with my mother, I realized, no, I need to do something. And I would probably want to encourage some of us here to look at that. Of course, it's still 20 years ahead or 40 years old. But the point is, let's start now and see how we can, in addition to what we have wanted and what we can do. And it is quite simple. We save, and if we are smart enough, we invest. We save, and we invest, and we hope for the best. Of course, people might have different opinions. I was talking to my friend about this because it triggered my mind, and I was like, and I said to him, it's not like I want you to be afraid, but you've got to do something about your future. And then he says to me, Emmanuel, you asking, you worry too much. You worry about what you're going to eat today. You worry about what is going to happen tomorrow. Then you happen, you even worry about what is going to happen to you in 25 years' time. And I said, well, okay, good. That's your opinion, but my thinking is, as people who are still productive, income-generating people, let's see what is going to happen to us when we are no longer able to produce. And he asked me, are you sure you're going to get there? Because the reality is that those who get to 70 or so are selected people. Not everyone will get there. But, ladies and gentlemen, my challenge to you is look at your own situation and see if when you are no longer able to produce income, you can still sustain your life and make plans accordingly.
Thank you, Emmanuel. And I thank you for giving a speech at our club. We really did enjoy it, and you certainly have given me something to think about. I might only have to retire when I'm 90 at this point. I see Neo has stepped into the room. Hello. Hi. Are you going to be doing a speech today?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. President, who shall we nominate to evaluate my speech? For me? Oh. Perhaps? Your thoughts, Mr. President?
That's what you said.
It's going to be Harold.
It's supposed to be Harold, but Harold...
Yes, I was going to do too.
Harold, what would you like to be?
Well, I'd like to give it to Snanzi, actually.
Oh dear. Hiding in the corner. Right. Snanzi it is. Well done. Thank you, Snanzi. Snanzi is actually on her now third role. She is our registration for the morning. She is evaluating my Toastmasters. And she is now evaluating Nao's speech.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Joan, would you like to go next? Yeah, okay. Slot Joan. So, our fourth speaker this morning is Joan, and evaluating his speech is Jerome. Jerome, please can you let us know what the assignment is? But your letter is M. I am?
Marvelous.
You are.
The story, the guide speaks of, the title yet says, the model of the story. And the note to the evaluators is that the speaker had two options for this project. Create and tell an original story with a lesson, or take a lesson from another story and create a new story to go with it. the story is to be entertaining and have a surprise twist with the ending. And the speaker is not to use a script or notes when telling the story. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Thank you, Jerome. Please help me, 5 to 7 minutes, yes. Please help me welcome Johan with his speech, How the Manx Cat Lost Its Tail. How the Manx Cat Lost Its Tail. Johan.
Madam Toastmaster, this is my version of a Manx folk story. And we've read in the Bible that a long time ago, the earth was populated by really disgusting people. They really annoyed the Almighty. He was furious with them. But there was one family who were beyond reproach. That was Noah and his family. And the Lord said to Noah, look, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to wipe the earth clean, get rid of all this rubbish, but what I want you to do is to build an enormous vessel, because I'm going to create a flood. You also have to collect animals, pairs of animals, to put in this vessel. This vessel became known as the Ark. Now that was a pretty tall order, I think, to build this huge ship. And thank goodness Noah had a big family, a lot of sons and sons-in-laws and grandsons and so on, to help him. The Lord told him which trees to cut down, to use for what part. Now they didn't have a drawing office, so everything that Noah did, it was by divine instruction. And this took moons and moons to construct. All the local population used to come around and mock him. What's all this? Well, you'll see, he said. Don't worry. And just think of the logistics. He had to provide fodder for all these herbivores. I don't know how he dealt with the carnivores aboard the ship, where he got the meat from for that. But anyway, they worked and worked and worked from morning till night. Some members of his family were reaping grass to make fodder and so on. Anyway, the ark was developing, starting to take shape. And what the people, the local population, failed to realize was that all the time more and more clouds were building up in the sky. And the ark was nearly finished. Now the clouds were really heavy, black, there was lightning and thunder, but no rain. A strange thing happened as well. Animals started arriving at the ark, pairs of them. Anyway, the ark was eventually finished and the animals were herded aboard, and the various hatches on the ark were closed, except the one hatch, the main hatch. And sitting outside this hatch, there was a cat, and this cat infuriated Noah. We've all seen how they go. Doing its ablutions. And Noah said, "Cat, get in here now." Carried on, it ignored him. And Noah lost his drag. He called it a silly 1, 2, 3, 4 blankety blank cat. Then he had to apologize to the Almighty for using such disgusting words. Anyway, the cat, he said to the cat, "Look, I'm going to count to 3. If you're not aboard, I'm going to slam this hatch down, the hatch cover down. 1, 2, 3. And he started to let the hatch cover fall. But we all know cats can move like greased lightning. So it shot in and it just got under the hatch cover, but not quite quick enough. The hatch cover came down right at the base of its spine, where the tail joins the spine. So its tail was left outside. And that's how the Manx cat lost its tail. But now here's the moral to the story. The whole thing is, if an opportunity presents itself to you, please use it, don't lose it. If you don't take the opportunity when it's given to you, you are likely to lose more than just your tail. Madam
enjoy storytelling. At one point I was thinking, what is the moral of the story? Is it not to groom yourself, not to clean yourself, to interrogate and infuriate somebody? But now I know. And I know how it lost its tail. Thank you very much. Right, our last speaker in the prepared speaking session this morning is Neo. And evaluating Neo's speech is Sansi. Sansi, please can you give us the assignment for Neo? But before you do, I am, and your letter is an N in.
Okay, and I'm nervous. Just
it's supposed to be a powerful, uplifting word. Not nervous.
Well, I can't think of any other
Naughty. Naughty.
Nice.
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 Oh, nice. I've got many ways. Nice, naughty, you name it.
Yeah. I am. Hey.
Nice.
Yes, thank you, Snapsy.
Okay, for Neo, she's doing a P level 1 R&D. I'm not so sure what R&D means.
Research and development.
Okay, great, thank you. And the purpose statement, which is what I'll read out, is the purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. And the time is 5 to 7 minutes, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Sansi. Please help me welcome Neo with her speech, Cold as Ice. Cold as Ice, Neo. Sorry, Leo, I did ask Lynn, but obviously we can go through this time.
There should be one more.
Can I just clarify something? My apologies. I sent in a message to say I'll be late. My daughter off. I did ask her for late, but I see she's not here. So
no. And none of us got the message, unfortunately.
I did send everything to her. Thank you. But, Madam Toastmaster, fellow guests, and fellow Toastmasters, cold as ice, cold as ice, cold as ice, cold as ice. We were chanting this as we were about to walk on fire. They say the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is not real. So we continue, cold as ice, cold as ice. As we walked on fire. But let me take you along. Let me just rewind a bit. I thought I was going to do a presentation, but it's fine. I'll continue and just tell you about fire walking. It is an ancient practice that started a long time ago, 12,000 before Christ, I'm told. It was popular in China, in India, and in South Africa. Some, I think, Sri Lanka. and in some other areas of the country, in South Africa and across the world. According to Alan Haynes, it is believed that the activity originated actually from India. As part of the process, a person is encouraged to walk on a walkway of fire, hot burning coal. When you walk on it, you are advised to try and be quick, but don't run. You stay too long, you might get what they call a fire kiss. Tony Robbins is believed to be one of the first people that introduced it to the West. So my experience of it relates to him and how he actually mentored other people to do it in the West. According to physicslinks.com, one needs to make sure their feet are wet, because as you walk on fire, then the water will evaporate. It will make sure that it protects the feet from burning. The same way that you pour water on a hot stove, and it just starts. The water is meant to help you to do that. One needs to walk quickly, like I said, to prevent exposure to the heat. You must think positively. And you must let the water cushion you from the immediate danger of the fire. Thinking positive means you need to have a goal. You need to set a goal of why you want to walk on fire. There must be a reason compelling enough for you to walk. Otherwise you won't do it. The way they do it, they encourage us to write on a piece of paper what are the things that we want to transcend by walking on fire. So you walk on, you write it, then you go and put it and it burns. So now there's no turning back. You have to walk. You think positively, you talk to yourself, you tell your subconscious mind what you want it to believe, but it must be positive. If you tell it that you're going to burn, you'll burn. Cold as ice. We chant to ensure that we remind our mind that this is not cold, it's not hot burning coal, this is ice for us to be able to walk through. How do they burn the coal? It is burned until it's red hot, and then it's rate leveled so that you can be able to walk on it. Coal is considered to be what is called poor thermal conductor. So the heat doesn't really, you don't feel the heat as quick as you would with any other, maybe wood, but coal is able to keep it not as hot as the other product that could be used to do the fire. They are terrible in transferring heat to other other objects. Their low thermal capacity means that it will take them a while to cause any damage. That's why they use coal. Why would people walk on fire? I wondered as well before I did it. I don't understand why somebody would want to expose themselves to such. There are few reasons why people would want to do it. Some do it for religious reasons. It's part of the whole process where people believe that it's faith, and it's also a belief in supernatural gods. In other areas like Pakistan, it is a way of proving a person is guilty or not guilty when they've committed an offense. While in Polynesian and Hawaiian community, it is part of a ceremony to heal people, to allow them to forgive and to reconcile with others. My mentor, Robin Banks, believes that it's a process that helps a person to tap into their subconscious mind and take advantage of their power mind, or their mind power. He believes it helps people to help overcome their fears, test their courage, and raise their consciousness, which in turn helps to create emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being of the person. My experience with firewalking. In September this year, I became courageous enough to join 99 people to go and walk on fire. It was a weekend that was meant to shape our destinies. And one of the things that we needed to do was to walk on fire. I was very clear that I am not turning back. My reason was to walk on fire because I have a fear of failure. So me turning back when everybody walked meant that I would have failed. So I had to do it. As we prepared, I was standing there and I was thinking to myself, what am I doing? What am I about to do? What if I bang? But then I reminded myself, cold as ice, cold as ice, cold as ice. As I walked through the fire and I was there on the other side. It was an amazing, exhilarating feeling. I did it 3 times. It was amazing. I was asking myself, I mean, wasn't that difficult, was it? So I can actually do anything after walking on fire. That is the intention. So I can do anything. I can even present without a projector. So ladies and gentlemen, if you believe that hot burning coals are cold as ice, you too can walk on fire without thinking twice. Thank you.
Agility there, so well done. And I'm really impressed that you did 3 rounds. Did the fire kiss you?
Yes, it did.
It did kiss you, the fire. Oh dear, you're guilty of something.
I lost focus.
So I've walked on fire as well, and listening to your speech, it evoked a lot of those things. So I encourage a lot of us to. Maybe that can be our year-end function.
Yes.
Mr. President, we can get a fire walker. Pardon?
Is that what you say? I am.
I am.
I am on fire.
Right, thank you to all our speakers for taking the time to prepare your speeches and present them. They were amazing and thought-provoking speeches. So can we give a round of applause again? Mr. Timekeeper, can we have the times, please?
Okay, for our first speaker, Annika, she was supposed to speak for 4 to 6 minutes. She spoke for 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Neo just presented. Her speech was expected to have a duration of 5 to 7 minutes. She spoke for 7 minutes and 11 seconds. Clinton Middleton, also an expected duration of 5 to 7 minutes. He spoke for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Emmanuel Mpeli, also an expected duration of 5 to 7 minutes, and he spoke for 7 minutes and 23 seconds. Johan Kelly, also an expected duration of 5 to 7 minutes, and he spoke for 5 minutes and 7 seconds.
Thank you very much, Rob. Right, in front of you there is a ballot form. Please can I ask everyone to vote now for their best speaker, and if you can hold it out, Adrian will go around when he's done filling in his and collect them for us. So everybody got a ballot form and a pen? Everybody sorted? Right, Buddha said, mind your thoughts as they become your words. Mind your words as they become your actions. Mind your actions as they become you. Words have a biochemical effect on us. They impact our health and our entire bodies on a cellular level. Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese professor and researcher, provided powerful evidence how the use of words can cause an outward effect in his rice experiment. What he did was he took 2 jars of cooked rice and he covered them with water. On the one jar, he wrote, "I love you." On the other jar, he wrote, "I hate you." And for 30 days, when he walked past the "I love you" jar, he would fill it with positive words and tell the jar he loved it. The negative jar, he would walk past, or the "I hate you" jar, he would walk past every day for 30 days and fill it with negative words and tell it, "I hate you." The outcome after 30 days showed that the "I love you" jar rice remained white and fluffy and virtually unchanged. The "I hate you" jar suffered a terrible fate. It became moldy with specks of black and brown rice. Be mindful and pay attention to how you think and speak about yourself. We're going to take a break now. Can I have a time, please?
10:33.
10:33. So, Harold, how long do you need for your evaluation? What time would you like to come back so you can be part of our amazing table topics? 10:50. 10:50. Right, so we will be back at 10:50. Please make sure you hand that in to Adrian before you go. And as you're taking your break, I am... Thank you. Wait, let me do this. Thanks, Larry, for doing that. I haven't voted.
Well done. How old are you? See you again. Because I'm worried right now.
It's on here. Some of them love it. I hate tabletop, he loves it. Yes, I love tabletop.
Well, it forces you to think on your feet. In a way, you prepare for tabletop through reading and extracurricular activities. Tapping into other ways just so that when you do come, it presents an opportunity to speak from it and so it makes it a bit easier. A sense of ease and comfortability in speaking, regardless of whether you're the best public speaker or not, it doesn't matter. The fact is that you can just go there on the stage, present yourself comfortably and in a well-spoken manner, with instruction manner. And you improve on it. Every time you met or that time you engage with you become more aware of how you present yourself. I think that's important.
And I think that a lot of people say don't take the topic, but you give it too literally. Take the topic and put any components of it. If you try to take it too literally, even if it's one word, you can book on to go for it. And I mean, some people go out there and they only have 30 seconds. They basically introduce their name, their topic, say something, and some people love it so much, like Jerome, 15 minutes, and he's only supposed to come to 2. Yeah, so but there's no pressure, you don't have to do it. So like what
Just throw yourself.
No, it's not very much but for people who don't have time, they're prepared speeches, it takes a lot of work. It's nice to do some pace, 1 to 2 minutes, studying for a role, when you put your speech together, but you still practicing. Honestly, just go out there and do the topic out to make it good second time it is. It's good because you can stage, you're standing up and exposing yourself. Which for many people is really interesting. Some people see the process as really yourself at the beginning.
In one
Let's
story.
Sorry. And then how long, once you learn what to interact with it. Jerome and I kind of sandwiched it. I would like to I want to check this is really good. Maybe something for the next couple of years. I need to prepare myself for this. No, you
I hope you've enjoyed the session so far. I'm looking forward to having you here tonight. Okay. Yeah, I'll try.
They don't send me invites, so I don't think they watch me. So I might just go to those that are sending me invites. I need to know a lot about it. How do you become a member? How much do you pay? Because I spoke to my colleagues at work, because we do a lot of presentations and I don't do them. I always send the one that is quite good. And I really, really hope that one day I'll be able to stand in front.
Yeah. Just wait, but hold on, let's have a...
No, she said, what's the name?
Mpumi.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I just gave my sign.
Are you ready? Oh. When are you joining?
What's up with you, Shane?
Yeah, it's a
10
yeah.
Thanks.
Give them confidence to trust you.
Very clever. You've got to be there for a long time to discover it. It is not that great.
I'm not on your list. I'm not on your list.
But I'm not a horrible person.
Managed to take it in.
Very well done with actual PowerPoint. Very good comeback. Yeah, stuff like that has the potential to like just throw you off, but very well done. Very well recovered. Well handled.
Nike no one says just reach.
Wait.
Ready? Why are you still sitting in the back here?
I'm actually enjoying watching.
That's like a professional lurker.
It's nice.
I wonder if it's still recording, showing the break.
Who's doing it? Now that Prince is not there, or did it just switch on?
Adrian did it for us.
Oh, that'd be nice. I just want to see how I recovered from not presenting when I was supposed to do a screen.
You did very well.
I've been trying to encourage her.
I didn't know that she's not here.
So what happened is she went over her ankle, so she's not able to drive. So yeah, she was planned to be here.
Fine, I know, because she would have told me.
Obviously, an accident.
And always come
Don't know. We had her apologies that came through last minute. But
I almost decided not to come, but I'm like, no, I can't chicken out. Not letting myself.
No, you did well. Very well.
You're writing a dissertation now?
It's both. It's
Now you have to know about after you have finished with your course work, like the courses, now you're writing more. It's really important.
You will actually.
Thank you. That's really sound of
You are going to work at the same time.
Yes, also within the lab.
Off the hook.
No, I just don't want to call a recess. They want another 5 minutes, so 5 minutes.
How are you doing, man? Oh, thank you.
Yes, so that like now we need to function speech, we have to say something, then if you use a static, then you will go. Did I hear the word?
Stress is a little bit different.
That's right.
Experience is different as well.
I am.
When you go somewhere else,
I think you were very overwhelmed by I am.
don't put it. To practice. So that's why I go to different clubs. Yes, different environment. So many things, but one of the main things is the work full time for
It's good to hear you went to Robin Banks. I went to the 2-day seminar at Midrand, but I didn't go to that one.
You didn't? Were you at the Waterworld?
Yes.
I was there as well.
Okay, yeah, I was there.
Why did you not go for the sale?
Blank dots.
Oh, yeah.
okay, how much you
How you doing?
I also learned a lot from you, and I was telling you that hey, you have a vision. Maybe try and do the topics now. Also, yeah, it's my topic again, like, no way else back.
Where was he?
I don't know if you guys do it as well.
Why didn't he take her? Anyway, we have two grandkids. One is 92. No, the other one is 100. The other one is 92. The 100-year-old was very happy. Then she was just talking to
And one of the things that evaluates your maturity, they'll use notes, or rather don't use notes, because when you use notes, you're not as natural. So, I thought, you know what, why not come to this week Saturday and practice, just not use notes.
Like it or not? Yeah.
So you get the topic, you say you want to talk about it, but then you go about the partner, the guys in the clubs, they help you out, and you're kind of on your own. But if you get come here and talk, and then they give you
We're about to start. I'd like to hand over to
The thoughts you think become the house you live in. I've got a couple of letters left in the alphabet, so I'm randomly going to ask you to stand. I think it was Nicole. Nicole, please, your letter is N. No, we've done N. O. I am with O.
It's Nicola.
Oh, Nicholas. Would you like another letter? Yes, please. P.
I am popular.
And you are indeed.
Yes, very popular now. I'm sorry, I'm Any. Any, please stand, and your letter is R. You need to use a positive, uplifting word to explain I am with the letter R. I am with the letter R. So,
Sorry, the letter is I.
R. R.
Ravishing. I am resilient.
Marcia, I am, and your letter is S.
I'm super.
Twinny. Is that correct? I am 20. And your letter is T. I am 20.
Tenacious.
Yes, I'm tenacious.
Yeah!
Topics Master, because that is the section we are going into, our unprepared speaking. I would like, because we have a couple of volunteers and then I think Zoe might find some victims, I would like all of us to close our eyes for 30 seconds, because you might be a victim, and I would like you to fill yourself with the positives I am. So in your heads you can say, I am a confident, positive, impromptu speaker. I am excited and ecstatic to speak for a minute or two. Please fill it with whatever you need, only positive, uplifting words after I am. Right, thank you for entertaining me here today. I would like to call upon our table topic master for the morning, Zoe. Please help me welcome Zoe.
Good morning, everybody from our side. We have reached that time of the year where you start to feel the drag of the year. I treat my patients, I'm a physiotherapist for the visitors who don't know, and they fall asleep on the bed. And then when I'm busy with the ultrasound machine, I think, they probably will wake up at the beep, because then I think, do I now wake them up, or do I just leave it and pretend like I didn't notice they fell asleep? So in keeping with the time of year, I have chosen my theme to be in keeping with the theme of the day, I am. And keep in mind that when you speak, try and encourage and motivate your audience to get us that little last bit of a push to the end of the year. I have had a few volunteers for the session. How it works is I will hand out the topics, and then you're allowed to open your topic the moment that the speaker, before you start to speak. So then you'll have a 2-minute recess or in that speaking time to just kind of prepare a little bit and think what you're going to say. So I'm going to do the round and then we'll hand out our topics. Thank you for volunteering. Yes, you can act. Anybody else? Annie, you get to speak. Jabro, what are you going to try? Thank you. You have to. This role will teach you to be. Thank you. There's 10, but there's more if we have time. So. Dino, you're good at this. Come on.
Am I?
You are. I'll see you down there too. Matthew, you want to try it? Okay, your stubs are numbered. Your stubs are numbered, so then please just tell me who's got number 1. Please welcome up our first table topic speaker, Kumi, with her topic, I am already that which I seek, which is a quote by Rama Maharshi. Kumi, I am already that which I seek.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. I am already that which I seek. I'm a born-again Christian, so I listen to a lot of sermons. This quote reminds me of something I was listening to by Cindy Trim, and she was going on about how there is no difference between a tree and a dollar bill, except for the process in between. And she highlighted how everything we need is already in us. Talking about fruits and anything that has been created, basically with an apple, the seed already possesses all that which an apple needs to become. And for us as human beings who have aspirations and dreams to become great and to leave our mark in this world. Everything we need is already in us. Yes, we do doubt ourselves sometimes because life throws us curveballs and we think, oh my gosh, I've been knocked down, it's over. And you don't know how you're going to get up again. But the truth of the matter is, you can get up again. If you are still breathing, if you are still alive in the process of it all, you can get up again. So no matter how tough or how unbearable circumstances or the situation may seem, we are what we need to be in that moment. So in the toughest moments of our lives, we are really all that we need to be for that season that we're in. And what I'd like to encourage us today, it's the end of the year, yes, and I have been feeling a bit like, oh my gosh, 2018, can you ever ready? But the truth of the matter is I can get through the last 2 months, and there is nothing that I cannot do to get through whatever I need to get through. And all of us, for whatever lies ahead, good or bad, it is already in us to overcome and to come out at the top. So thank you.
Who's got the third topic? Who's got number 3? You open yours as soon as Jerome starts, and then you have a little bit of time to prepare. Jerome, you're like.
Okay.
Thank you for the time. Please welcome up Jerome with the topic, I am the master of my fate and the captain of my destiny, a quote by Nelson Mandela. So thank you, Jerome.
I am who I am was the answer God gave Moses when he asked him, who will I tell the people who sent me? So what that means is that God is the creator. This statement says, I am the master of my fate. I did not decide to be born today, but it was my fate that I was born. God decided that. He is the creator. That is why he said, I am who I am. And as a mere mortal, part of God's creation, it's a magnificent creation. And I won't say insignificant because he said we are the crown of his creation. And how many times haven't we marveled at the galaxies, the stars, the sunsets, but yet we marvel at each other. In the eyes of God, and in the presence of love that God felt when he created us. And that same love that he felt that inspired him to create us, inspired us to be part of that creation and to share in that creation and to value that creation. I believe that is where we become destined. Through our thinking, through our belief, through our trust, through our hope, through our embracing and extending of kindness, mere kindness, even in a glass of water, it seems. And how often do we forget that? We forget those simple basics of kindness, of loving, of cherishing God's creation. Not only in the world and environment around us, but in each other. And this morning we've heard about I am. Who am I? What do I believe I am to be? We are created with absolute potential. God created us like that. We can create our own destiny, yes. But it is through the conscience with God that we create that destiny. Thank you.
Jerome, the speaker with topic number 4, where are you? Annie, you can open as we welcome Matthew to the front with his topic, I am different, not less.
Hi everyone. I'm different, not less. I come from quite a religious background, although I would be considered an anti-theist. I see the world very scientifically, actually. When I get information information in, I always want to think critically about it and not evaluate it from what I've been told, which contrary to what my upbringing says, like, no, this is the way. I mean, but why is that the way? Why are we listening to things and just taking them at face value? My goal is I just want to understand the world better that I live in, and not just, accept it for what someone else has told me. So in my family, I'm different, but I like to consider that I'm not.
Anything, but I won't stand up and do table topics. And as a visitor, I got selected. Well done, Matthew. Annie, you can come to the front, and then the speaker with topic number 5. Tanya, you can open. Please welcome Annie with her topic. I am as happy as a flea in a doghouse or wings.
In life, we all want to be happy. No one wants to be sad. No one wants to worry about what happened in you. Please say that again. God created us with an intention to be happy. No one wants to cry. No one wants to be sad. No one wants to live a difficult life. But the life that we are living, we come across different things. Some of the things, they are difficult to deal with. But we must remember that God wants us to be happy. We must always be happy. No matter what is going through in our lives, we should be happy.
Speaker with topic number 6, you can open. And then Tanya, you can come. Please welcome Tanya up with her statement. I am not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I am afraid of an army of sheep led by lions. Said by Alexander the Great.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, and I do not agree, this is not easy. So you're wrong. As I was walking up here, I kept saying to myself, cold as ice, cold as ice. I then moved on and I got to the corner and I was going, I am a static, I am a static. But anyway, I've made it. I am not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I'm afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. When I read this, the first thing that came to my mind is the quality of leadership. And Clinton, your speech, you spoke of vision, purpose, grit. I forgot the 4th one, but those 3 stuck. And I think it's the quality of a leader, no matter who's behind the leader, that allows us to be afraid of an army of sheep, led by a lion. Is the lion, the leader who has that quality and that perseverance and that vision and that grit that will help any herd of sheep, I think is the right word, conquer what needs to be conquered. So I'm going to carry on going cold as ice, cold as ice, cold as ice, because I'll move back to my table now.
Speaker number 7, you can open as we welcome up with her topic. I am learning to. I am learning to. Good morning to you once again, and my topic is I am learning to.
I am learning to love again. I'm learning to love myself so that I can love others. It has taken me quite a bit of time to realize that you can't give that which you do not possess yourself. Being a varsity student, you're encountered with many struggles and joys and pains. And I must say that during the whole, no, let me not say interaction, but during the whole process of me learning things that would boost me intellectually, I lost myself. But I'm learning to love again so I can love others and share the joy that has been given to me. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lebogang, for being brave. It's always nice when our visitors participate in our table talk session. Speaker number 8, you can open, and then speaker number 7, Dino. Dino is going to tell us about I am 18 again with my current wisdom. Give yourself advice.
I'm 18 again. Now I need to give myself some advice. Well, where do I start? I'm actually just having a flashback over my last 3 weeks. I have been acting 18, and it's kind of hurting me. So I'm kind of thinking, Dino, you're not 18 anymore. Life is a little bit harder. Life does get harder the older you get. More responsibilities pile up. But the older you get, the more wisdom you gain. And actually, you need to, jumping between my 18-year-old self and my being 18 and looking up at myself, at the age of 32, okay, have you been able to gain the success that you wanted over your life, over the things that you've done currently? And I think it's one of these, I'm actually having a reflecting moment right now. And I think the older you get, the more reflecting moments you do have. So, Dino, you're 18. Carry on enjoying life the way you will be doing it. Acknowledge your friends, their strengths, their benefit, the way that they help you throughout your life. Be more grateful for the way that your parents will be helping you in the future. And be present, be more present. Yes, think about your future financially, but don't worry, you've got a lot of people that will be supporting you in the future. So just be present, be mindful, and make sure that you appreciate every single moment, because time flies by, and the older you get, the faster it goes. So I just want to end on that.
The 9th speaker, you can open up. Well, we welcome Johan to the front with his topic. I am not bragging, but...
Right, Madam Topic Master, I'm not bragging, but I have a lot to brag about. Firstly, I survived a junior leaders course at the Army Gymnasium. Not only did I survive it, but I passed it. Then I got my commercial pilot's license. I scared myself to death half 100 times. But coming into on short final approach, I look at my airspeed indicator, I'm indicating 35 knots instead of 70, and actually screaming, ramming that throttle forward, stick forward, and just dragging the aeroplane over the threshold. I'm not bragging, but I've got 2 two wonderful children, and the two of them are the best of enemies. They are 15 months apart to the day, and both of them are so good to me, it is unbelievable. I have a lot to be thankful for. Life has been good to me. So, yeah, I can brag.
Adrian is going to tell us about I am my own worst enemy.
I am what I am. I'm not the great I am. I am what I am. I am no better than I am. I'm no worse than I am. For I am a mortal thing, controlled by two powers, the devil and the voice of God. And the devil is the one that I fear the most. One of my great sins in life is one of procrastination. I've been trying to think of my CC10 project that's coming up. And this is I haven't done a project for a couple of weeks now. And I'm procrastinating, and I've been having sort of holidays as well, weekends. I'm going to be away at the next speech. But I have got a topic, and it's curiosity, the catalyst for creativity. Now, I'm my own worst my own worst enemy, because I'm not getting down. You know, how does one prepare a speech? This is where I need a mentor. So what I'm going to do this coming week, I have a mentor sitting here, who's also he's a bit younger than I am. And we will have a glass of beer together. So this is how I cure my things that I don't do good at. And we have a beer, and then all the ideas come flowing. So when the time comes, my greatest fear will be released, and I'll be full of confidence. And I'll have another beer with you.
I don't know whether the beer will help the procrastination so much, or it will just prolong the process. But anyway, thank you, Adrian. Our last speaker. Did you not get one?
No, you pressed it on me.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Was that?
No,
Where's our 10th one? Rick. Oh, great. Let's welcome up Rick to the front. With the topic, I am different today, for 2018 has taught me.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. I am reminded of the after-dinner speaker who is invited to the stage, and the master of ceremonies gives a glowing introduction, and he stands up and says, after that introduction, I can't wait to hear what I'm going to say. So it is with me, because for me, 2018, I'm not sure that what I can share with you of my 2018 that is going to be positive and uplifting. I started the year by effectively being pushed out of my home club by a president who weaponized the rules. And she wasn't very keen on obeying the rules herself, but she was very good at using them against other people. And I found myself a new club eventually, just because it was becoming too much of a strain. In April, on the 7th, 4 days before my birthday, my wife fell and broke her foot. And she's now reprised that by falling and breaking her upper femur on Thursday. I think what has been positive and uplifting for me is that I have grown as a leader in my society of choice, apart from Toastmasters, which in fact, sorry, there are two areas. There's Toastmasters, where I'm now an area director, and I'm trying to learn how to lead clubs without coercing them. Harold always says when Ineos is here, he's my boss. But actually that's not the case with an area director. You can cajole, you can persuade, you can try to bribe, but you can't coerce. And then my other society is the secular society. And there I'm making a difference, and it's quite interesting. We've had so many religious speakers come up this morning, but mine's the secular society. But secular people also want to do things like get married and have a ceremony. And we're doing, for almost the first time in South Africa, we're getting secular marriage officers certified through the Department of Home Affairs. And yesterday I had the announcement that the first one had passed his exams and he's now certified. That's the topics.
Big thank you to all the willing speakers and well done. I am quickly just going to remind you of the names of the speakers, and before I do that, Mr. Timekeeper, can we just get the timekeeper's report for the times, please?
Okay, Kumi, our first speaker, she spoke for 2 minutes and 3 seconds. I spoke for 1 minute and 58 seconds. Matthew spoke for 47 seconds. Annie spoke for 1 minute and 17 seconds. Tanya spoke for 1 minute and 12 seconds. Lebogang spoke for 50 seconds. Dino spoke for 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Ewan spoke for 1 minute and 7 seconds. Adrian spoke for 1 minute and 38 seconds. Luke spoke for 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Timekeeper. You'll find on your ballot slips, you can vote for the best table topic speaker. I'm just going to quickly remind you what everybody spoke about. Kumi was speaking on I'm already that which I seek. Jerome, I'm the master of my fate. Matthew, I'm different, not less. Annie, I'm happy in the flea in the doghouse. Tanya, not afraid of an army of lions. Lebogang, I'm learning to. I'm 18 again. Dino, Johan, I'm not bragging, but Adrian, I'm my own worst enemy. And Rick, I'm different today for 2018 as for me. So please take the time and then just vote for the best table topic speaker. That then concludes my assignment for today, and I will happy to hand over back to our Toastmaster, Annie. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. It's never easy being a table topic master, but staying in the theme is exceptional, and I'm ecstatic that you have done that. So well done, those were amazing topics that you picked, and well done to all our speakers. I'm normally present at all these meetings, and I notice when we do impromptu speaking, people's nerves were a lot better today than they were in the past, and I'm hoping that's got to do with our I am meditation before we started. Adrian, can I ask you to go around and collect the or Jerome, you're helping the evaluator? Yeah, I mean the table topper, sorry. Have we all got voting little? We all sorted. Voting ballots. Right, before we move into our evaluation session, I'd like to just leave you with a quote. The author is unknown. An old man told his grandson, "My son, there's a battle between two wolves inside of us. One is evil, it is anger, jealousy, greed, resentment, inferior, lies, and ego. The other is good, it is joy, peace, love, hope, humility, kindness, empathy, and truth. The boy thought about it and asked, "Grandfather, which wolf wins?" The old man quietly replied, "The one you feed." I'd like to call upon Harold, our evaluation chair, to now run the evaluation session. Please help me welcome Harold.
Thank you, Madam Postmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, in this session, we give feedback on the speeches that were presented to us earlier. It is something that doesn't happen in your day-to-day life. You give a presentation at work, you give your presentation and everybody goes away, and some might say, well done, but we very seldom get feedback on what we've said. That's what we do at Toastmasters, and we try and do it in a friendly, safe environment where we try not to hurt you while we give the evaluation. And 99.9% of the time we actually succeed in doing that. We have
Occasionally someone walks away bruised.
Yes. Now, I've bruised Johan a few times, I think. And he's not the only one that I've bruised, but well, I'm still here, so I've survived. We've got 5 evaluators today. Our first speaker was Monica. Sorry, before I do that, the times for the evaluation are 2 to 3 minutes. Green on 2, orange on 2.5, and red on 3. And if you go over 3.5, Dino will throw you off.
I'm the one that only talks.
Yeah, but do we let you because you're the biggest? Our first speaker was Monica, the icebreaker, and to evaluate her speech, please welcome Rick.
Thank you, Mr. President and Evaluations Chair. Monica Masangani, thank you very much for that speech. I didn't get your first quote, but I did like the way you introduced humour very early on, saying, "I'm a wonderful speaker" when I'm alone in the car or in the shower. And that immediately, I think, got the audience on your side. A bit of self-deprecation, definitely, particularly in the light of how you finished, is very pleasant, because you finished in telling us such an inspiring story about how you want to inspire public servants, and we all know that public servants need this, to become better public servants and serve the public. And I'm quite humbled to have people among us who have a vision like that, who want to create a better country, who aren't there because they want to drive a flashy car, have blue light brigades taking them from place to place. So thank you very much for that. And in between you told us your story about humble beginnings, catching dung from the cattle. And I think many of us probably can't relate to this because a lot of us are urbanized people. We forget what goes on in the rural areas and how your choice is between going to school or farming. I think that was a very valuable lesson for us as well. And you took us through your schooling, and I was fascinated that your mother went to school with you, that 13 years older, and she decided she was going to do it, and I must say, tied it together nicely for me, because here's a woman of determination, and she's given rise to another woman of determination. Fantastic. And you led us through your life, your studies, and how you've achieved. So this was, for me, an inspiring speech, and typically we only get to the inspiring speech we used to in the old program at CC10. But I found that that was great from that point of view. And it's a first speech. It's the first time we stand up before a group of people, not in the shower and not in the car, and speak. And I think you did very well in that. So, where I give you points for improvement, it's really things that will come out in the Toastmasters program ahead. Things like look at your audience, focus on a particular person, get eye contact. Consider your vocal variety, so perhaps, yes, you used a bit of that when you were talking about, oh, that's my done there. And you could work on that as well. Vary it according to what is required at the time. And I do this a lot, avoid meaningless gestures, and try to make them with focus on the thing that you're talking about. So those are just minor things, and I'm sure that you will grow into that as you grow as a speaker. That's great potential. Well done. Thank you very much for that speech.
Leadership, good to great. I was intrigued about the title, and because I am a person in a leadership position currently, and on a daily basis I have this internal voice fighting what I must do, how to improve, just going the extra mile. And the way that you went through your speech was, I really enjoyed it. It really added value to me. I'm pretty sure to everybody in a specific leadership role. Your speech had a lovely structure. Your introduction captured my attention straight away by showing the specific role players in the game of leadership. Then you dropped off into the leadership characteristics, with each characteristic of vision, purpose, communication skills with intent, and with grit. You had a quote and an anecdote of a famous person, adding value to that characteristic. And it really highlighted, okay, I really want to, that's one way of remembering that specific characteristic, which was really, really impressive. The only problem with having that amount of quotes is that you have to memorize every single one. I can kind of understand why you went through some speed bumps to get out the way. So we were just thinking, if you added one or two of your own anecdotes, we would have been brought into your world, and you wouldn't have had like a hiccup here or two. And I'm giving gestures, but that's because I'm Italian. I'm allowed to do that. But Rick mentioned now, you need to, when you have a hand gesture, it needs to be meaningful. And you did it. You had your 4 characteristics. Can't remember, you're doing this. I kind of got lost because I was writing down, and all of a sudden I saw your hand doing this. Gun. What's going on here? I can't remember, but I don't believe it was adding purpose. You're just challenge for next speech. Keep your hands to the side. We'll try and do that now. And when you add purpose, add meaning to your hand gestures. Okay. I really liked the way that you concluded. You kind of collected yourself. You said, I want to finish off strong. And then you thought about it, and you went into it. And you said, there's two types of people in this world. We have followers and we have leaders. Which one are you? And it kind of hit me because I've been challenging myself. Move away from that. I just want to say thank you for a very informative and inspiring speech. And I'll be taking those actions and those characteristics back home with me, and I'll be working on that. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Dino. Our next speaker was Emmanuel. And guess who's doing his evaluation? The bruiser. Emmanuel, well done on your speech. I really enjoy your accent. And I'll tell you why, because you articulate your English so well. And I won't say in spite of the French accent, because I think you use your accent very well and it comes across very nicely. So just speak naturally when you speak. I know you always do because I've heard you before, but I really enjoy your accent and the way that you speak. And you clearly enjoy speaking as well, and you have great enthusiasm when you come up here. In spite of seeing the president sit there with a glum face and whatever, you carry on. That's a very nice trait to have. I was very impressed with the way that you use research, and I think that's a nice lesson to learn, because, you know, sometimes we think when you research something, you have to put across a whole lot of facts and figures. And in fact, the one thing came out of your research was this 6%, and you used that very well. And we could see that you researched the topic very well, but you didn't give us a whole lot of facts and figures. You just came across with the 6% and the 94%. Put your message across very well with that. And sometimes that's all we need to do, is just use one or two figures from our research to get a message across as we do. When you give that speech again to your learners and to people like me in my younger days when I should have been listening to you, two things I'd like you to look at. The one is your introduction was quite long. And I thought for a while I didn't quite know how you were going to get there. And I think if you'd structured your introduction a bit better, it would have been a lot more impactful. It was a good introduction and a good personal story. Just needed a bit more structure. The second thing is that the assignment did require you to use one visual aid. And I thought your topic with the 6%, 94%, and talking about old and young and working, not working, did lend itself to maybe one or two really good PowerPoint slides or something like that. It would have driven the message even more. Because even though you were dramatic, I think that would have helped you really to get the message across. Because what you want is people to go out and say, right, I'm going to start saving today. That's what you want out of that. But very well done. Your personal engagement with the audience was excellent. And in terms of the project, where you are required to relate to a wide range of people, I think you did. Except perhaps the old people who haven't saved. Don't worry about that. Very well done, and I look forward to seeing you speak again. Thank you very much. Our next speaker was Johan. Something about a Manx cat, using its name. And to evaluate Johan's speech, I'm going to ask Jerome
pioneer at Toastmasters. I was very enthralled and entertained by your stories. Before you spoke, I said to you, just imagine that we're all little kids sitting on your lap. So you prefer not to. And that's maybe how I felt, just listening to the entertainment and the entertaining story that you conveyed to us. How it illustrated for me the characters and the storyline, and also how it created the visual imagery. You used so many good elements of not just an entertaining but a good speech. Your vocal variety was excellent, and just not only just audible, but in terms of how you used it to raise the pitch of your voice, to illustrate maybe something significant of the story, and how well that story flowed. And then when you came to the end, you had a bit of a punch there. Entertaining gestures, I especially like when you were pretending to be a little cat and pawing your face and licking, and that already that kept the audience immediately there and drew us even closer to you. Some of the questions you raised, like how were they fed? Sometimes you don't think about those things, and the fact that you mentioned that also creates more intrigue and interest by the audience. So it just shows, just by these simple gestures and things that you've done to entertain and captivate your audience, we can all learn from that. So overall it flowed very well. Everything illustrated very well, the setting, the arc, the animals walking in pairs, imagining ourselves, okay, they must have been doing this with the fodder, maybe throwing, so maybe they took some, I don't know, extra animals that ran out of corn, for the carnivores, and maybe we don't have those animals today. So you took us really along a visual journey. Just a couple of areas of improvement, I would think, very simple. Couldn't really fall too much. Maybe just your title, maybe try to make it a little bit more cryptic, because it's sort of like conveyed the twist in the story, so we immediately we could imagine, okay, the animals going onto the ark, so one of these must have been a Manx cat. Let's see how he lost his tail. And then also linking the story to the model, the twist. Yes, there was a lovely twist to it, and the model of it was that, the losing out on opportunities of life, etc. But I think maybe finding a way to link more strongly to the twist in the story. Otherwise, I loved your speech and looking forward to another entertaining story. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. The purpose of the project was for you to learn and review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. And I believe that you actually managed to achieve that. Cold as ice, cold as ice. Initially I was just wondering, where are you going with it? And we obviously got to find out that it was your research on firewalking. I don't really know much about firewalking, but I got to learn a lot from what you shared with us. Quick, wet feet, think positively. Those are some of the words that you used. And I don't think I'll be one of those people that would like to try that, but I think it was very good to learn about that. And also just the understanding of where that came from and the reasons why people do that. Initially I thought people are just mad to try and do things like that. But yes, now I kind of understand that there are reasons for doing that. Overcoming fear, for example, is what you mentioned, or part of the ceremony. When you started talking to us and talking more about yourself, the experience that you had, you started engaging with all of us. It also became alive as well. And the fact that you say that you did it 3 times, I'm really, I'm actually quite impressed with it. I think it was actually very brave to walk on fire. You ended up by challenging us to walk on fire. So those of you that are interested, I think you heard for yourself what you need to do. Some of the areas that you can improve on is we noticed that we're clasping your hands a lot, and you also seemed to stick on to just one side only. You've got the whole room here for you to make use of, so maybe that's something that you can look at doing in the future. And also reading from the laptop. I know you wanted to put a presentation up and you didn't have time to do that, but you also believe that you really didn't need the laptop as such. It's a presentation that you could have been able to do without really reading off from the laptop, because that distracted you a bit and obviously made you stay on the one side because you had to do the reading most of the times. Okay, but overall, very interesting, well-researched, and well-delivered speech. And I look forward to your next speech.
Thank you, Stanzi. Not bad for having been appointed as the last functions evaluator. We have a few more reports in the evaluation session, starting with Grammarian's report. If I can ask Tanya, would you give us a Grammarian's report, please?
I am ecstatic that Mandy and I between us almost got to 10 uses of the word. And I'd also like to thank Zoe and Kalisa for managing to work the word ecstatic into your speeches. And then from a pure grammarian perspective, Mandy, when you opened up today, you had 2 beautiful sayings that I wanted to just call out. You talked about multifaceted layers, which is lovely, and an inner dialogue we have with ourselves. And both of them, for me, were quite descriptive, and I could imagine and feel what you were trying to convey, so those were lovely. And then, Annika, when you were at the back end of your speech talking about public service and the passion you have for it, you used something that caught me entirely off guard, and I'm going to use it myself at work, which is interrupt averageness. I thought that was wonderful. And I think we should all try and interrupt averageness. And then Mia, if you stay too long, you might get a fire kiss. I absolutely loved the fire kiss. And then Clinton, your speech was fantastic. And the one thing that I loved was when you were talking about grit. It was a fantastic long definition that I couldn't listen and enjoy to and write at the same time. So do you mind, for the audience, repeating the definition of grit?
Sure, it's a positive, non-cognitive trait based on an individual's perseverance and effort, combined with a passion for a particular long-term goal.
I can never write that all down. Thank you very much, Harold.
Quite a few, okay, myself as well. Quite a few platforms used by most speakers. But I would like to say very well done to the following people. Mainly, for someone who has been speaking for quite a long time, you had just 2 so-so, well done, and Rick, none, Zoe, 2 or 3, but for someone as well who have been speaking for longer, you have done well. Adrian, none. Clinton, nothing. Onika, well done for an icebreaker. There was no arms, there was no R, there was no repeated words. Thank you.
And I see quite early on she's learned that you don't point out
57 seconds. Snanzi spoke for 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Dino spoke for 3 minutes and 47 seconds. I spoke for 2 minutes and 57 seconds. Rick spoke for 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
Thank you very much. Last form you need to fill in is for the best evaluator. Ask them just to complete that. Adrian, if you could just check for us, please. While you collect, I want to say thank you very much for allowing me the privilege of running this session. Speeches were very good and I enjoyed the evaluation as well. And I hope that we all learned only a little bit, but lots from the evaluations.
Also, I think we learned from a lot from some of the speakers.
Yes, we really did. Everybody handed in? One at the back, I can see. Everybody done? Yeah. Thank you, Adrian. That brings me to the end of this assignment. Back to you, Adrian.
Right, thank you, Harold. We thoroughly enjoyed the evaluation session. Can we have another round of applause? Right, I know we are running late on time because we started late and I carry on forever. So, but while I ramble on for a tiny second more, please can you try and undo your sellotape without tearing the top of your paper. Thank you to our evaluators. It is difficult sometimes to fulfill that role because you come here to sit back like Snanzi and relax and enjoy her cup of tea and her break. And you find yourself evaluating a speech. And everything that everybody's given us from that, I think speakers as well as individuals, we really enjoyed the evaluation. So thank you very much. Has everybody opened their letters? Right, with a pen at the top. Snanzi, they don't have, sorry. Right, with a pen at the top, I would like you, it needs to be at the top though, not down the side. I'm sorry if there's a tiny bit of space. But at the top of your rolled up paper, I would like you to write the following words. I'm very ugly. Please write at the top of the paper, I'm very ugly. I've still got some more. So save some space. Yeah, I'm going to help you. Are you okay?
Yeah.
The next words you can write. So don't try to convince me. So don't try to convince me. And then there's a that at the end of it. Don't try to convince me that. Does anybody need me to repeat that? I'm very ugly, so don't try to convince me that. At the top of your paper. I'm sure after me filling you up and you filling yourself up the whole morning with I am, when I asked you to write I'm very ugly, I got a lot of and body reactions, body language coming through saying something's wrong with this train track. But before you walked in here, I'm very ugly, probably went through your mind a couple of times this morning or last night, Dino, after having some beers maybe perhaps. Right, I would like to read this poem and you can follow it while I read it. I'm very ugly, so don't try to convince me that. I'm a very beautiful person. because at the end of the day, I hate myself in every single way. I'm not going to lie to myself by saying, there is beauty inside of me that matters. So rest assured, I will remind myself that I am a worthless, terrible person, and nothing you say will make me believe I still deserve love. Because no matter what, I am not good enough to be loved. I am in no position to believe that beauty does exist within me. Because whenever I look in the mirror, I always think, am I as ugly as people say? Ah, the power of the words. What we have just read probably has made us feel negative, horrible, sad, ugly, terrible. But when I asked you to take these words out of your mind at the beginning, I'm sure you can name at least 10 things on this piece of paper that you put in there, at least 10 words. So now, I'd like you to follow the poem again. I'm going to read it from the bottom up. Am I as ugly as people say? Because whenever I look in the mirror, I always think beauty does exist within me. And I am in no position to believe that I am not good enough to be loved. Because no matter what, I still deserve love. And nothing you say will make me believe that I am a worthless, terrible person. There is beauty inside of me that matters. And I'm not going to lie to myself by saying, I hate myself in every single way. Because at the end of the day, I am a very beautiful person. So don't try to convince me that I am very ugly. How we end the sentence, I am, defines who you are to yourselves and everyone around you. You are the only one that gets to decide on the words that come after I am. Please choose wisely. That wraps up my role for this morning. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for participating in the I Am Week. Please welcome Harold.
First time Toastmaster here? Yes. Very well. Close up the meeting quickly. I'll start the wrap up. We'll close with saying, awarding a ribbon for icebreaker to our icebreaker today. Morning. Second order of business, on a point. Anybody want to raise anything on a point? Going, I'm going, gone. Awards. Let's start with Best Table Topics. Best Table Topics Award goes, my goodness, it's a tie. Yumi and Joey. You'll have to walk further, he's old. Older. Thank you. Well done. Please don't make ties, it makes things very awkward. evaluator, Rick. Best speaker, well, let's have a drum roll. And all the way from Dainfern to show us how to speak, Clinton. Fourth dimension. You apologize, sir. It's not as far away.
Sister. Come.
Yes, sister.
Brother club.
Brother club.
Brother club. The other club.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Genie of the Day, at the discretion of the President for a role performed or for something done during the meeting. And I think the preparation and the thought that's gone into our Toastmasters presentation today actually deserve the Genie of the Day.
Yes. Thank you.
Good, you were videoing us. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's meeting. The next meeting, Saturday, 24th of November. See you then. Till then, keep safe, drive safe, be well, and don't get too busy like everybody else. And please switch your phone off before we start the meeting. Please switch it on now so you don't get into trouble when someone tries to break it. And declare the meeting closed.
Yeah, they normally go to somebody.
Hope you enjoyed. Yes, anytime. Very well. Well done on your table topic. I'm sure we'll put something about
All right. Did you enjoy it? Great.
Mine was a line. So I'm
trying to put your details and taking of his
Thanks for joining us today.
All right, guys.
It's very difficult to do. Thank you very much.
Getting here is the main thing. Decide after that.
Okay. Hi there, how are you? I'm good, thanks. Good to see you. Yeah, you came in after today. Did you finish? Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Just produce an award. People whatever.
The poem is actually like the start of the poem. I if you want to open it, but I want to ask you also because the shot that came. Have you turned the camera on?
Oh, thanks.